Bibliophiles of the internet, today I'm here to help announce the upcoming Queer Romance Readathon. I mean, the most important stuff you need to know is kind of right there on the tin, but this is going to be a week-long readathon happening from June 13th to the 20th, and it's all about reading queer romance books. Bethany from Beautifully Bookish Bethany is the creator and organizer of this event. She did put out a very detailed announcement video, which I will link down below in case you want an even more in-depth overview of everything, but along with a ton of wonderful people who also will be included down below, I am one of the co-hosts for this event. One thing I really appreciate about this event is that it's really accessible and flexible. So whether you consider yourself to be a slow reader, a fast reader, or even someone who doesn't especially read a ton of romance, there's still so many ways for everyone to take part. I think I want to start just by going over the prompts on the bingo board, so I will insert a picture here, but the prompts are as follows. Novella/short story, historical romance, Latina author, indie author, new to you author, 2022 release, indigenous author, group book, which is Drag Me Up by R.M. Virtues, book written by a gay author, non-binary or two-spirit author, book from the Karina Adores line, disabled rep or author, black author, sci-fi or fantasy romance, Asian author, trans author, bisexual rep or author, FF romance, YA romance, lesbian author, queer black love, asexual rep or author, erotic romance, and polyamorous. Again, if you want any further explanation or insight to any of these prompts, I highly suggest you hop on over to Bethany's video after this for an even more in-depth overview of the entire process. I think one of the only squares that requires a bit more explanation is the Karina Adores challenge. Karina Adores is a recent subpress within the Harlequin imprint. They describe themselves as being a digital first press, meaning they have some more freedom to publish queer stories and stories by marginalized authors. So Karina Adores is specifically their queer imprint. I will include their website down below, which has listings for all of their current and upcoming titles. A couple of their titles are on my long-term TBR personally, and maybe with a little bit of browsing, they will also be on yours. That's really the only prompt that requires any kind of explanation, I think. The rest are pretty straightforward. In her video, Bethany also talks about how the definition of what quote-unquote qualifies as romance for this event can be up to you depending on your reading preferences. If it's a queer book marketed as romance, perfect. If it's a queer book that has romance as a major part of the story, that could also count. Bottom line, we're not going to police what kind of romance you want to read or put any strict definitions on how much romance needs to be in a story for it to count. Whatever works for you, as long as there's some kind of romance or relationship element present, is totally fine. Also, the group book covers 10 of the prompts alone, and I think I forgot to say that you can also double up on prompts if you would like. So R.M. Virtues is a trans, indigenous, Afro-Latina author who writes independently published romances. Drag Me Up is an adult erotic romance that admittedly I don't know too much about yet, but I believe it reimagines the Greek gods in a modern day setting, and they're all tied to this casino trying to pay off their various debts. And if I'm remembering correctly, Persephone is demisexual and Hades is pansexual and trans. So this book would count for asexual rep, trans author, black author, indigenous author, Latina author, erotic romance, indie author, disabled author, queer black love, and bisexual or multi-gender attraction rep. That means if you read just this one book for the entire event, you would be guaranteed to get a bingo right down the center of the board, which I think is really nice. But again, if it doesn't sound like that's your thing, you're not into it, you do not have to read it. There are so many other things that you can read. If you do happen to need recommendations for the various prompts, Bethany hosted 2 live shows on her channel recently. I was part of one of them. Both of them will be included down below, but the one I was in was all about contemporary queer romances, and the other one was about queer sci-fi and fantasy romances. So if you're not sure what to read for any of these prompts, you are more than covered on that front. You should definitely check those out. Speaking of live shows, we're going to be having one to sort of wrap up the event on that last Monday, June 20th on Bethany's channel, starting at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, etc. And we'll be talking about the group book there and also just other books we read for the week. There's also going to be live reading sprints happening once a day, every day throughout the event. Mine are going to be happening right here on my channel at 12 p.m. Pacific on Thursday, June 16th, so definitely come hang out if you have some time, and if you don't, I will include Bethany's post down below with the full schedule that you can look over should you so choose. I think that's pretty much everything you need to know if you would like to join us. Obviously, I read pretty much exclusively queer books in June anyways, and some of those books happen to be romances, so I think it works out pretty well. Hopefully it does for you too. If you plan on taking part in the Queer Romance Readathon, let me know in the comments down below, and also let me know what you plan to read, especially if you're taking on any specific prompts. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, educate yourself, be kind to yourself, take care of yourself, and I'll catch you on the flip side of the page.